Hello friends and my dear students, welcome back to my channel Phoenix Physics. Today we are going to learn applications of Gauss law. Gauss law is very efficient way to calculate electric field. You know the formula also, phi E, the total flux phi E is equal to Q enclosed by epsilon naught. There are three applications. First one, electric field due to an infinitely long charged wire. There are two steps involved in this application. First one, we have to choose an appropriate Gaussian surface. This surface may be sphere or cylinder or cube or cone, but the surface depends on the charge configuration. For example, single point charge means we can choose spherical surface. If it is linear charge distribution means you can choose cylindrical Gaussian surface. Gauss law is applicable for closed surface and the magnitude of electric field is same, or we can say constant on the surface. These two are very important. This is our first step. Second step, we can calculate total flux phi E. Let us see one by one. Consider infinitely long straight wire with a uniform linear charge density lambda. It is denoted by Q by L. L means unit length. This is charge. So charge per unit length is called as linear charge density. Suppose if you want to calculate Q means you can write lambda L. Don't forget this relation, lambda L. Here lambda is a constant. Why did I say lambda is constant? See, this is infinitely long wire. You divide this wire into small segment like this. Each segment has 1 meter length and each segment has uniformly distributed charges, say 10 microcoulomb charges. For each segment, length and charges are constant. Lambda has constant value. Let P be the point located at a perpendicular distance or from the wire. Choose two area element A1 and A2 which are at equal distance from P. Then how do you draw electric field lines? See, in this area A1 I have some plus charges. Same way in this area A2 I have some plus charges. Then how do you draw the electric field lines? Suppose if you want to calculate electric field at P means it understood that some positive test charge Q0 is at P. This is also positive, this is also positive. You know that like charges repel each other. So, repulsive force acts in this direction. Then how do you draw the electric field line? Electric field line acts along the line joining of 2 points. So, along the line joining of 2 points like this. This is my E1 line. Same way here also I have positive charge. Here also I have positive test charge. So like charges repel each other. So the electric field line is drawn along the line joining of 2 points. This is my E2 line. See, these E1 and E2 have same magnitude. Why? Because A1, A2 are at equal distance from P. E1 and E2 have same magnitude. then how do you find out the resultant magnitude? This is our resultant E. Here the vertical component of E cancel each other because these two are in the opposite direction. We have only horizontal component. So the resultant E acts in the horizontal direction. You draw one circle of radius R. This is our radius R. You draw one circle like this. Circle has radius R. So this is my radius R. You know that E depends on R. E is same means the magnitude of E is same on the surface. Suppose if you take this point, say R point means E is same. Here suppose if you take S point means E has same magnitude. So on the surface E has same magnitude. Suppose if you choose any other segment, you can get the resultant E in this horizontal direction only. Same way E is in the horizontal direction, or we can say E is radially outward. This is our radius, right? So E is radially outward. Just connect all the E points and draw one surface. So this is our cylindrical Gaussian surface. First you draw E1, E2 line, then you find out the resultant E. So the resultant E acts in the horizontal direction, or we can say it is radially. The resultant E acts radially outward from the wire. So this is our right hand side means this is our left hand side. So E is radially outward. So in this horizontal direction E has same value. Just mark all the E value as a dot. Connect the dot. You can get cylindrical Gaussian surface. So if it is point charge means you can draw spherical Gaussian surface. If it is linear charge distribution means you can choose cylindrical Gaussian surface. So step 1 over. Here it is a closed surface because it is cylindrical in shape. So it is a closed surface. The magnitude of E is constant. See here at all the points E is constant. So the magnitude of E is constant on the surface. So these two conditions also satisfied. So step 1 over. This is our Gaussian surface which is cylindrical in shape. The length of the cylinder is L and the radius of the cylinder is R. Now you choose one area element in this curved surface because cylinder has one curved surface, one top surface, one bottom surface, right? Choose one area dA, draw one perpendicular line. This is our n vector. Now dA becomes dA vector, that is area vector. Here you know that E direction is like this. So the angle between E and n cap is 0 degree. Same way here I am going to choose one dA, draw one line perpendicular to this area. This is my n cap. Now you can call it as dA vector, that is area vector. You know that E direction is like this. So the angle between E vector and n cap is 90 degree. So at top and bottom surface theta is equal to 90 degree. Curved curved surface, theta is equal to 0 degree. E vector and n vector are parallel. Here E vector and n vector are perpendicular. I am going to calculate total flux. How do you write total flux? That is phi E is equal to integral of E vector dot dA vector. Or we can write phi E is equal to integral EdA cos theta. This is for curved surface. Plus integral EdA cos theta. This is for top surface. Plus integral EdA cos theta. This is for bottom surface. Because we are calculating total flux. If you add these three surfaces, you can get total flux. Here a curved surface angle is 0 degree. Here theta equal to 0 degree. Here theta is equal to 90 degree. And here theta is equal to 90 degree. Cos 90 degree is 0. Cos 0 degree is 1. Then how do you write the equation? The total flux phi E is equal to integral EdA alone. This EdA is for curved surface. Because here theta equal to 90 degree. So this will become 0 and this will become 0. So finally total flux phi E is equal to integral EdA. Here you know that E is constant. Take it outside. E integral dA. You know that the magnitude of E is constant or same on the Gaussian surface. So take it outside. So what is this integral dA? This is nothing but curved surface area of the cylinder, which is equal to 2 pi r L. Pi E is equal to E 2 pi r L. You know that Gauss law, phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. How do you write Q in terms of lambda? What is lambda? Lambda is nothing but charge density. You know that lambda is equal to Q by L. Suppose if you want Q means lambda L. Substitute here. So E dot 2 pi RL is equal to lambda L divided by epsilon naught. Cancel this L. Finally you can get E is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi r epsilon naught. This is our final expression. So the electric field due to an infinitely long charged wire E is equal to lambda by 2 pi r epsilon naught. This is magnitude of E. Suppose if you want to write in the vector form means E vector is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi r epsilon naught r cap. R cap is nothing but unit vector. Next we will see important inference of this equation. First one, see, for a point charge, how do you calculate electric field? E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Here for infinitely long wire, E value is E is equal to lambda by 2 pi r epsilon naught. Look at this equation. Here E is inversely proportional to r square. Here E is inversely proportional to r. This is first point. Second one, suppose this linear charge density lambda is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means positive. Positive means E directed radially outward, like this. E directed radially outward. Suppose lambda is less than 0 means negative. So E directed radially inward. Then this is second inference. Then third point, we have calculated E value for infinitely long charged wire. Suppose the charged wire has finite length means E does not have same value in the horizontal direction for finite length of wire. But this formula is applicable at the mid portion of the wire. So far we discussed about how to draw Gaussian surface. In this first application, we have drawn cylindrical Gaussian surface. Then we derived E value, that is lambda divided by 2 pi r epsilon naught. Then we discussed 3 points. First one, for a point charge means E is inversely proportional to r square. If it is infinitely long charged wire means E is inversely proportional to r. Second one, the linear charge density lambda is positive means E directed radially outward. Suppose negative means E directed radially inward. Inward means in this direction, radially inward. Then third point, this equation is for infinitely long charged wire. The charged wire has finite length means this equation is valid at the mid portion of the wire. I hope this video is useful to you. If you like my video, please share and subscribe my video. Thank you.